All right, this is Mitch Bolo, and we're here with another candidate interview. We're here with Gerald Friisvall. Hello, Gerald. Welcome to the studio.
How you doing, Mitch? Pleasure to be here.
I'm doing good. Okay, so ground rules. You have a 60-minute time limit. You can use as much or as little of that time as you'd like. These are straight cut videos with the exception of 10-minute reset points because of this video camera right here. That's your camera. Other ground rule, no talking about other people. And with that, we can get this going. Please just give us an overview of who you are.
Well, my name's Gerald H. Friisvall. I'm the fourth child out of 8 from Violet and Kenneth Friisvall, born in Lawrence. Dad was a logger all his life, and Mom, she did various things throughout her life. She was actually on I don't know if she was in the beginning stages of the tribal enrollment program, but you can talk with Jennifer Miskin on that, and she I guess, she was a big help to her also. So, she knew a lot of the older elders, I guess, of the tribe, helped her out with a lot of the research and everything. So, we were out of Mom. As far as my qualifications, I went to Northern Michigan University, got a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in illustration, and after that I joined the Marine Corps, which I did 20 plus years there. Then after that, I was hired by the Boeing company, defense side, not the commercial. Commercial side does the jumbo jets and everything. So, for 35 years, pretty much did defense of the country here and everything. So, and people are thinking, well, this guy's not lived in the community here for a long time, but that's, that's not the way to think about this here. Both of those companies, the Marine Corps and Boeing, are, huge organizations, which,
yep.
And Boeing was really huge into the training, all sides of it. You talk about training as far as the technical aspects, customer relations, import-export rules. They covered the gamut of everything, and they did this on a quarterly basis, to which I think the tribe would benefit from some programs like that. I don't know how much training that we do now. I know they shut the tribe down here a few months ago, the entire tribe. I wasn't privy to what brought that, but I know it had to do with the customer service, some of it,
Yeah.
So, things like that. There's always room to grow, so.
Okay, let's go back to, you said, you just mentioned that you didn't live in the community. Where did you live? Or how long have you lived here?
After I graduated high school, I was pretty much gone then. Like I say, went to Northern for 4 years, and after that, I lived all over the United States.
Well, I guess when did you move back to the area then?
The wife and I, we moved back here in 2015, I believe it was.
Okay, 2015.
So I've been in the area for a few years now.
Okay.
And I'd like to mention on that, it's, part of my success in the Marine Corps was because, you get shipped to different bases all the time. And as you go up in rank, you kind of look around and see what the problems are. And just by sheer observation, you learn how to detect what the problems are.
Yeah.
Either it be, manpower, equipment, whatever.
So that applied to tribal politics?
That was, in tribe entirely.
And, how the tribe runs.
So, are we missing, equipment? Are we missing training? Are we missing, you can go logistics, whatever, we just started our new tobacco company. I can see tremendous growth in that thing. When are we selling to, I don't know what the interstate regulations are on that right now, but I would think we'd be selling them to not just ourselves here in the community, but in other areas.
Yeah. So going back to, you moved back to the area around 2015. Have you been involved in tribal politics at all in the time since you've been back?
No, I've pretty much been sitting back, and like I say, I was in a retired mode then, so
okay.
Nothing hurts. I'll be 61 this year, so.
So what inspired you to run for council?
Well, just my second year trying at it, so.
Oh,
I like the challenges of everything. Like I say, I went to college, Marine Corps, Boeing, so, why not the tribal council? I'd like to, figure I have something here to offer the community. I do have a lot of knowledge in lots of different areas, but
yeah,
in which I don't want to keep rambling on. But,
so have you been out campaigning?
Pretty much everybody knows me. The younger generation, they were probably not too privy of who I was at the time, but when I see him in the community, I always ask him who you are, and I said, "Who's your parents?"
That's the
And,
first thing he said to me.
yeah. So I mean, that's how I'm learning. I'm educating myself. I mean,
So you're getting to know people.
yeah, and then I ask them what they think about what's going on in the community themselves, and that's how you learn. You ask questions.
Exactly. And my question is, so what kind of things are you hearing about?
There's of course, number one thing is going to be the money thing. So, I'm not going to beat that one all to death. But I'm sure there are fixes to that thing. You really can't blame anybody for it. I mean,
Which one? I mean, the Christmas checks?
well, just in general. I mean,
Oh,
let's start
the financial stability type of.
Yeah, true. I mean, let's just say, okay, we got this casino being built now,
Yep.
and we all know that they had to do many different revisions to that build,
Yes.
which isn't done for free. So, I mean, why wasn't that whole program sat down with and went over with in the first time, get it right the first time? Because when you're talking great sums of money that were wasted on that project.
So that'd be
And,
something.
I'm not trying to blame anybody. It's just human nature to, they were probably so excited about getting the project started that, I mean, you lose sight of what you're actually doing.
So as a member, you wished you knew more about that.
Well, I mean, I do know. I mean, I talked to other people about it. I'm not going to dig way down in the weeds on it, but that's just for example. And, there's other areas that we've wasted money on that could have been put to better uses.
Okay. So just streamlining just everything.
Yeah. I mean, the Christmas checks, I mean, I'm sure that'll fluctuate here and there. I mean, you're talking about blood quantum here. I mean, how many, and that is a big issue with me because I don't know if you know who the Lumbee Indians are in North Carolina.
I mean, I've heard of them, but I'm not too familiar.
Yeah, they're having problems with the government because of their, they're mixed with so many different nationalities that the government's not recognizing them as a federally. That's
something I was wondering about, the other end of that issue.
And how far are we going to push that line down to where
Yep.
the government is going to come in and say, look, we're cutting you off.
Yep.
I mean, you can't tell people they can't marry people, but that's something that we need to address. Do we need to keep it up at whatever level? I don't know.
Okay, well, let's move that over to then the other big issue, which is the off-reservation member voting. Someone who hasn't been on, you moved back to the area just recently here. I'm interested to hear your opinion on that.
Well, I would think every Native American should have the right to vote. I mean, regardless of where they're living.
Yep.
I mean, that's cut and dry on that one.
Cut and dry. What about, are you a fan of the proxy voting or voting with technology for people that might not be in the area?
As long as they keep the purity of the whole system, and I mean, I don't know if there's any way you could, you got this whole thing with the Trump, and I mean, you watch our own federal government, the problems they're having with that. So, I mean, somebody's always going to step up and say that somebody's cheating or doing whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we set up? I mean, do we hire another tribe to come in and proxy it, or whatever? I mean, that's how even in the military, when they take the rating exams in the Navy, that they have. It's like taking a test in high school, being watched or being timed and all this other stuff, so there's no cheating or whatever.
Okay.
But, I'm sure we could set up some sort of system that would, so more people could be available to them.
Just got to be efficient. It just got to be efficient.
I mean, iron out everything. I mean.
All right, we are hitting these first timers, so we will reset the cameras. Are you ready for some of these questions from the Facebook page?
I am.
Because I think that that's a pretty good intro there. I think you're just ready to kind of get to these. Well, the first question I want to ask is, how has the culture played a role in your life?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if, I'm sure a lot of the elders know that are Charlie and Susie Marksman, who were 100% natives back then. Matter of fact, Grandpa Charlie, he went to one of the foot schools when he was younger, and all he spoke was native language.
Yep.
And he was one of those people that you read about in the history books being beaten for speaking the language.
Yeah.
So, and Grandpa used to, I mean, I wish I still remembered, he used to send me out in the woods as a little kid we'd probably put the pharmacies out of business doing some of those old medicines that they used to just out of roots and whatever else.
Really?
That's
I wish
cool. I could have, I mean, I kind of kick myself now for not writing stuff down when I should have. But you're a little kid. You don't take that into consideration.
But you got those experiences.
Oh, and then we watched a lot of the old elders do their gatherings and everything.
Yep.
Never understood a word they were saying. But, and I thought it was pretty because on one side of the street, I had the Indians speaking the native tongue, and then my dad was Finlander, so he was with the Finnish neighbor over there, and he was talking in Finn. So kind of sat there and wondering, but I was confused.
Yeah, I'm Finnish and native too. So my grandpa was that was his first language is Finn too. Okay, so let's move on from that then. It was interesting because then, just because you said you recently moved back and stuff, I'm seeing it's cool you got those memories.
But when I was in the military, I told people about these things, and they kind of thought that was neat. Saying, "Wow," because you only read it in the books. I mean, you're talking to non-natives, and first, it's kind of funny when they actually meet a native for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a funny story real quick. When I used to work at the Kerwood Park over in Lawrence,
yep.
When I was a teenager, people would actually think that the Indians still lived in teepees up here. So I'd give them some directions way out into the woods. They said they never found them. I said, "Oh yeah." I said the Indians were always on the move. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of people with that one?
Oh yeah. I mean, people were naive like that. This is back in the 70s, so
yeah,
it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. All right, so should we move? Ready for another question?
Sure.
This comes from Zena Pitsley. And, like I said, one of the designs of this is to bring questions from the people, and it might touch on things over and over again, but just different angles and bring in the people's questions. Zena Pitsley asks, what would each candidate do for our tribe as a whole that the previous council has not?
Well, that's kind of a hard question because, I know we've got candidates that have been in the council before, so they kind of know what to expect, watch the changes that are happening in the community. But, like I told you, in the beginning here, that I'd get in, I don't think I'd charge head on first, right off the bat, be the bull in the room or whatever. I'd have to obviously learn and take in, it's a pass down thing, really, passing knowledge on from previous council members. I would hope they would, give up all the knowledge that they've learned in their terms as a councilman.
Okay.
So, like I say, speaking with the community, that is a big part of what being in the tribe is taking care of everybody.
Yep.
So, and the only way you can do that is get out and socialize with them.
Yep. Okay. That's why I like that answer. That's why I ask these questions, give you another angle on it. Let's just kind of tackle this one as a bullet point. What's your opinion on the drug epidemic in our community?
That's a hard one to really pin down because, how do you stop that? First, well, in the big picture, obviously, people are getting hooked on it because of pain meds at first. Actually, I'm sure you've seen the national news where now the opioid thing is they're actually toning that thing down now, or they're even beating up on the physicians to quit prescribing so much pain meds.
Yep.
But for our own community here, you'd have to be proactive in, like I said, there's so much surveillance equipment available to our law enforcement. I would think, we'd probably support them in that area.
Okay.
Maybe training, send them whatever training they need. Send them out to get them trained. There's people that just deal in those areas.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Another question I have then for you would be, moving to the area recently here in 2015 I don't know if you had any expectations or anything, but is it something that's worse than you thought moving here?
You talking about the tribe as a whole?
No, like that drug epidemic and stuff, because it is a big issue everywhere. But then when you move here and you've been living here now, is it something that you've noticed?
Oh, yeah, considerable. Back in the day, people just drank their Boone's Farm and smoked some marijuana. That was people thought you were the worst thing on the planet. But now, that's nothing compared to what's out there now. People using the heroin, cooking the meth and all this other stuff. How do you even learn about those things? People put that much ambition into it. Why don't they go out and get a job then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. Human mentality. You really can't understand some of these people why they do it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there is a noticeable difference. I even told my friend down in North Carolina, whom I speak to about weekly, and I said, I can't believe this place for as out in the woods as we are.
Yeah.
The amount of drug problems we have up here.
Yes. Okay. So let's move on to another question here. I'll go to this one from Jessica Pose. I'll just give you some of the straightforward questions just to involve the people on the page here with the questions. Jessica Pose asks, what are your views on using technology to propel our tribe into the future? You already sort of mentioned surveillance and whatnot just in the last question. So just...
I think technology is great. Everybody in the tribe, I would think, should... before we even started the interview, we were speaking about the elders, probably the only group of people that may have some difficulty using it, but that's, you can easily fix that. You go whole classes during the week or whatever, find out how to do a poll or something, a survey, find out how many people would be interested in doing that. I'm sure the college over there offers computing courses. So
yeah, and there's a few different community programs.
But I think the grandkids and everybody nowadays are probably teaching grandma and everything at the because I've seen a lot of the elders walking around like you said with their tablets and everything.
Yeah.
So, which but there's just so much other stuff available to be used. So
okay,
it all depends where do we want to go with that. Of course, again we get back to the dollar bill.
Yes, as always. All right, let's go back to the questions here. Just another one. Robin Chosa. What are some key elements for our tribe to ensure financial stability for our future generations? Another tackle at that one.
I would think, we've been operating a casino now for close to 30 years. That we should have invested in some kind of financial advisor, invested our monies, so we get something. It seems like we're probably paying out more than we're getting back. So we probably, it's good to be ambitious, especially when you've given the government's turned you loose, sort of, I guess, let you do your own governing. And
yeah.
But I think it's time that we've gotten ourselves kind of into a corner that we should throttle it back a little bit and really regain our foothold.
Okay.
And say, when you start taking monies and from different programs and having to lay people off, when we're already in an economically strapped community up here in the UP, so I would think, let's fight the battles that we're in now and gain a good foothold again, and then start investing and coming up with better business ideas.
All right, very good. We're going to reset these cameras again. All right, the cameras are back up and running. So the last question was from Robin Chosa and asking about financial stability. I wanted to ask you your opinion on the tribe's adventures into the cannabis business.
I think it's a pretty good endeavor. It's just like prohibition. Everybody didn't want to do the alcohol thing there for a while, but to me, yeah, it's all about how the law sees it. Really.
Okay.
People are going to use it no matter what. So and I know they're using it as a medical. The word I'm looking for here, but I know it does help a lot of people with the issues, glaucoma and all those other things. So sure, if we can get it, enough of that selling it to pharmaceutical companies or whatever, and maybe who knows, even someday you may be like a pack of cigarettes on the counter. So it's always good to get a foothold in the beginning stages of anything, I would think.
Yeah.
As long as everybody else is doing it, why not get in the game? So
yeah.
So all you can do is try. Really.
Yeah.
So
what other businesses do you see being viable for the tribe other than, we have gaming, we have the cannabis adventure, and then the cigarette business you mentioned. What other businesses do you see viable for the tribe?
That's something that we probably have to talk with the whole community over. And I'm sure people have good ideas that haven't been heard yet. Like I say, we're the last fish up here in the UP anymore with the casino thing. So, I hope the Marquette project does well because you got the Island Casino just a few hours or not even that far away from. I think that entertainment would be the big thing that we'd have to work on and drive people in here. I was even thinking of like parasailing in the summertime. Out you have charter boats. Wintertime, you do the same thing on a frozen lake. You can still parasail in the wintertime.
Yeah, a little colder, but
or even doing the snowboarding thing out there, towing people around. And I'm sure we got the legal people to figure out doing the forms for if you get hurt, that's your own fault or whatever. It's like the zip line thing. You take your own risk and you sign a form. And that's what they make you do.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, that's just small ideas right now, but entertainment really. I'd like to see, as foolish as this may sound now, but maybe a small movie theater in the area would work. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
For kids, you just can't be thinking about the adults all the time. You got to have something for the younger kids to do too. So.
Well, I was a film student, so I think movies are not just for kids. But yeah, I'd love to have a movie theater around. That'd be cool.
And I'd like to see. I mean, back in the day when we were kids, the churches would have you do little plays and stuff. You don't see that anymore. I mean, why don't we have maybe, like you said, a theater or something to start get people more active in doing different things?
That'd be cool too.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the technology is great, but the video gaming thing now, you rarely see kids outside playing. I almost cried the other day. I seen 2 kids walking to school. I mean. It's just so much different than from back in when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody plays outside. Nobody rides a bike. I don't know.
Yeah, it's different.
How do you break that one?
I don't know. That's the big question, I guess. I mean, because, it's different. Technology is everywhere as we speak on our cameras and into our microphones here. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess I look at it as a tool. All right, so going through these questions, I think we did kind of cover a lot of the bullet points I wanted to cover. I guess I can ask you now, is there something that you wanted to cover, another topic or issue I didn't get to? Anything that pops up in your head?
No, I think the big thing, people are, I noticed that there's some dissension in the community that people are, any kind of, if you watch sports or whatever, if your team isn't playing together, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
And which is, it should follow through in the community too. We shouldn't be fighting amongst each other and all this other stuff. Need to find a common ground and try to help each other or whatever, I mean, it was the same in the military too. I was in bad squadrons and good squadrons, and the people were all what made the difference.
Okay. Well, then, this is the last opportunity that I've been giving everybody to kind of wrap up the videos, and you can address the voters directly if you have anything to say to them.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if I am the best candidate here. I mean, I wish the best to all the other candidates, and it's about, helping the King of the Bay Indian community, really, not just getting in there for yourself and whatever. Competition is good, putting new and fresh ideas in the heads of thinking process, basically. But I said, which really stands out to me, and we addressed it earlier, is that, I think we've, put ourselves in a corner with the financials, and that's really the big herder. I mean, we need to take a step back and regroup, and I know a lot of people are talking about the healthcare business now and everything. I would like to see more dentists at the healthcare clinic up here, but money again. What's that going to cost? Yeah, I talked to a lot of people in the community, and some people say it takes them almost a year to get in there.
Yeah.
So
that's something that popped up on Facebook a while back.
Yeah, I mean, what is the fix to that? Everything comes with a price tag, so you have to weigh what are we going to do here? And especially at this time right now, like I said, we've invested all our apples into that casino project. So hopefully that thing gets up and running, and we just should sit back and keep operating as we are, doing whatever. Let's not jump into any new big adventures or whatever, anything like that. Let's just get everything online again and then take it from there.
Okay, very good. Thank you for being here today.
All right, Mitch, thank you.